Hello. Okay, move out of the way, cat.
We're all just quietly waiting for Mickey to introduce himself.
Obviously, I'm late, so I'm just gonna
Just speed through all
speed
those.
through the hellos. Hi, everybody.
You were being a good kid. Yes, thank you, YouTube. I know that Cassidy is live. I'm here.
I love when it tells me I am live, and I'm like,
It does
thank
that to
you.
me all the time. Like, in case somebody hacked my YouTube account, I guess.
Malice.
Yes, everyone read Malice.
Ooh, I hope it worked better for you than it did for me. Oh yeah, you can finish.
I kind of want to do it, but then after seeing you struggle and the reasons why you struggled, I was like, oh no, that I'm gonna.
So Kayla did it originally. There's like questions, and then she did it a second time and she changed the question. So I used her changed questions.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went and looked back, I think that maybe the original questions would work better.
Cool.
But I still had fun. It was still great. Erin struggled less than me, but Erin still struggled.
Erin has like 9,000 books though.
Yeah, she still struggled because fantasy names.
Got like 4 shelves that have an extra shelf on top.
You can do it, Maria. She does. You have more books than I do, though.
Yeah, I do own some thriller and some romance, so maybe. Still think it would be a struggle though. Hello, Dick. One day he is so getting blocked.
What do you?
Somebody's gonna think he's a bot and be like, "You're gone."
He's technically a moderator, so that won't happen. Hopefully.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the answer to that question.
You tried.
Oh, but it jumped.
Mickey ears.
Do both.
Yeah, split the spreads. I apologize in advance if I say anything stupid. Cassidy can attribute that my brain is just not working today.
I was laughing so hard at you, being like, you literally asked, you're like, is this the cover? And Rachel replied, no, that's this book. And then you were so confused.
I missed that comment entirely. Like my brain just completely skipped over.
Okay, Nick is going to a concert this weekend for his friend, and he's like recording it to make a video for them or whatever, just for his friend.
Yeah.
And last weekend he went to sound check and made like a little video for his friend, but the people running it are asking him to make them a bunch of stuff. I told him to charge them because it's a lot of work. So he's wondering if you should say 100 or 150.
Ooh, I don't know anything about that stuff. How much time is it going to take?
That's what I just texted him. I said, how much time do you think it's going to take? I would say, I think 150 because you're already doing the one thing for them for free. Because he agreed to like do like one little thing.
Yeah.
Split the difference. 125. Honestly,
yeah, if you 150 and they're like, then you could always.
He doesn't even want to do it. That's the thing. Because
then 150, 100%. If it's a half favor too, like absolutely.
150 is so cheap too. Like most people, if you look for like rates, it's like $1,000 to get something what they want. So
150.
You won't get blocked. YouTube can't even block the unwelcome.
True.
What?
So true.
Don't undersell yourself.
Yes. Totally 150. Depends on the footage.
Yeah, it depends on the video. I would say we're a lot faster than what you do though, because we're not adding like fun effects or like going through like I don't have to scour through hours of footage. I like have a timeline of footage clip
I would
one.
say it would probably take at least a couple of hours if you're doing a bunch of effects and stuff.
Mhm. It takes me probably an hour, hour and a half to edit a video.
Mm-hmm.
That's like just like a splice and cut with
Agreed.
like a little bit of pop-ups. Nothing fun.
Sounds like the universal 150.
150.
Mm-hmm.
No more torn.
The internet has spoken.
150.
Hi. The internet has spoken.
What did I miss?
Nothing.
We're giving Nick rates.
Oh,
200.
Shedding. Mm-hmm. We got you.
What amount would make you want to do it?
That's
That
always
is
a good philosophy.
We're selling Nick for $150. Rye, how far did you get in last night?
so I wasn't able to read any, so I'm so
Kind of feeling.
sorry.
Brad's like, I'm gonna stay up and read. Don't.
So and then today usually like I'll read like in the evening, but Grayson had T-ball, so
had
I
How was
didn't.
proctoring? That is the question.
It was awful.
Is it over?
Oh no, I have it for the next 3 days.
Oh,
Ew.
And then but like these ones won't be as long, and then I can like I get to hang out in my room and like pack my room up and do
Okay.
like all that stuff. So like it's not bad, but just
Still.
was long.
Are you done after this week, or you still have one more week?
So I have this week and then next week.
Okay.
So
Almost
it was-
light at the end of the tunnel.
honestly, I'm so much more exhausted from these days because I literally sit and do nothing all day.
Yeah.
So it was all right. I survived.
we just
I-
answered this, but I'm gonna highlight the question.
It was long.
Well, I feel like me and Mel need to do something else for the first one.
No, don't. No, it's fine.
I
Yours
need to go take a bath anyway.
I can
So-
go help with dinner.
Yeah,
So
No, don't.
But really, I have to do that anyway, so I might as well do it now.
out of the three of us anyways. So we'll probably still be ahead of you by the next spring.
Where are you guys?
Page 72.
Yeah, somewhere
Okay.
around in there.
I think Mel's like 5 pages ahead of me.
I know, Kelly. I have a book that's like this book is hard to hide because it's so big. But I am reading another book, and it was kind of like playing it off because it's like thinner, and I could like slip it like on my side. But there's no hiding this book. Like
The
this
number of times that I listened to an audiobook, like would wear my hair down, put my headphone in, and like sit like this in class so many times. I would just like kind of hold my hair.
Yeah, this big boy is not getting hidden anyway. So
Like, well, I bought so
Under
the
your
shirt thing. You would think because it's brand new, it would be like $13.
yeah, you're saying that wasn't
$4 or
bad at all.
$5.
that's not bad.
So rather than try to open that very stiff like that
Yeah,
and possibly injure it.
gross. It was so hot at the baseball game. I was like dying. And then we got ice cream afterwards. Of course, the ice cream place is right next door. And I'm like just standing on the pavement and I'm just like dripping sweat. I'm like, this is so gross. I didn't want to shower tonight, and I'm gonna have to.
The heat index here was like 111 today. I can't.
I'm literally wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. It's been so rainy outside. It sucks.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow all day.
The sad
like
thing is when
89
I
and
come
rain.
in, I'm freezing because outside it's so hot. So inside I'm like,
You AC. Yeah.
yeah.
I always have to wear a sweater if there's AC around. I get so cold.
Mm-hmm. I sat on my heating pad all day like an old lady because I can't carry a heater.
I am not. Look
I
at
did that yesterday.
you.
He came in.
I did that yesterday.
Everybody keep talking.
Anyway, I sit because I can't use a heater, so I sit on a heating pad like an old lady to keep me warm in that freezing medical office.
Mood.
So I look like an old lady.
Currently, just so everyone knows, I am reading Aragon and His Majesty's
Oh.
Dragon, and then I think Dragon Mage is the next in the running.
Really?
Currently.
Out of the top 3. What's the other
Curry
one?
only has 3 votes actually. In the end.
Was not one from me. Honestly, only one of those. No, 2 of those. I voted for 2 of those. I lied.
Um,
I gave you lots of options.
except for that your one isn't gonna not be my friend because you didn't put the book title.
I didn't.
The
You can-
Waking Fire.
you can
Because
ignore
like the way I like do it is I'm just like command Fing and then putting the word in and it'll tell you how many times it shows up.
My bad. Totally my bad. Just ignore it then. Just don't count that one.
Well, I
I gave you 25 other
I
ones.
remember in my head whenever I attempt to do the video. 'Cause it
I
won't
gave
happen.
you like 11 other choices. Just ignore that one.
Love this dragon journey you were on. Don't listen to the audiobook. Honestly, I feel bad because so many people are like, you're gonna love Aragon. I loved it as a child, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm probably gonna shit on your childhood favorite because it's a childhood favorite. Like there's
Mhm.
like it's nostalgia that people
Yeah.
love it for most of the
Mhm.
time.
It's like Percy Jackson. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's my favorite middle grade. It was childhood favorite," and I'm like, "All right, it's not great. It's
Mm-hmm.
similar concept."
Ooh, I hope you are liking The Name of All Things.
Good luck. I need to read that.
I'm in denial. I love this. A mood. Well, not
That's so cool.
sometimes I wear shorts when it's like really cold out at the end because I'm in denial. Aragon is YA technically, but like younger.
That's news to me.
Yeah,
thought
I
was
called it
great.
middle grade in a video and I got a lot of heat in the comments.
I could have sworn it was middle grade. It's in the middle grade section at the bookstore here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they just shelve it wrong, but it's totally in the middle grade section here.
Maybe it's one of those
Every
books that
bookstore
like
I've ever been to.
goes across across age ranges, maybe.
Yeah,
Like
It also-
depending on country.
Mhm.
maybe.
I thought it was middle grade too until someone told me.
I thought it was middle grade.
Comments being like, it's YA. And that was it. That's
Sad.
worse. That's almost worse.
It is worse. How many are there? 4?
I think there's 4. I think it's a quartet.
I read them all and I can't remember. I think. Actually,
I
don't
haven't read
remember.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, I just gave Dragon Riders of Pern the first one 5 stars. So
Yeah,
that
but
one holds up.
Friday. I'm excited.
Which is middle grade to YA. Yeah, like it's definitely if you count as young it's as YA, it's the younger side of YA. Like it's not 17 and 18-year-olds, it's
Right.
12 and 13-year-olds.
I guess I always just think of that as middle grade. I don't know why, even though it's really not.
It should be teen.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they should call it. I think he was 15 when he wrote it, but I could be wrong on the exact age, but he was quite young.
Right.
He was definitely young when he wrote it. Like he wasn't an adult.
Haley, I'm sorry. They're not bad books. They're just not, to me, the end all be all that most people think that they are.
Agreed.
But that's just like it can be a right time. Nothing wrong with them.
Interesting. I mean, Emma told me that, like, because I saw the vibes when I read Dragonflight. I was like, this is like, I told Mel and Rachel, I was like, it's like Aragon before Aragon, like the original Aragon. And then Emma was like, yeah, Aragon's pretty much a copy of what you see in this one, but like not as well done. And I was like, ooh.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
Slow paced, oh god.
A middle grade should not be slow paced, or a YA, even a young YA should not be slow paced. True.
This is, yeah, everything is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to get disowned tomorrow, so everything is subjective.
Does it come out tomorrow? How long is it?
40 minutes?
Yes.
Well, maybe 35 because I DNF'd a book. Whoops.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, Pris, but
Hello,
also
Pris.
Pris awake. I honestly vote DNFing it because the rest of them don't get better. Like if you're struggling through Skyward, that's the
They're the
best
same.
one.
Yeah. Agreed. They all kind of follow the same formula. Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like what I said in my video today. Like, I'm like, don't hate. I'm like, that's the best thing about reading is like, every book is not gonna be for you. Like, that's just not humanly possible. Like, that's the great thing about reading is there's gonna be a book for someone, and just because it's not for you, like, doesn't mean it's a bad book. Just
Right.
like not for you.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Wait, what? Oh,
You said you're gonna get disowned tomorrow.
I saw the end of the comment before I read the beginning. Look, it's been a day. But yes, you should I don't know, you might not disown me. I'm not really sure. I know Dad's gonna disown me. I've already told him that I'm not answering his text messages for 24 hours as a washout period. Just no talking, let it sit for 24 hours, and then he can comment.
Yeah, fair. I'm gonna be over here like killing myself, being like, why am I still gonna read these one day? Because I'm gonna feel all the same thoughts you are.
One of them that you were considering reading, I DNF'd again.
Oh.
I just couldn't do it after the first one. I just couldn't. I was like, maybe another time, but this is not that time.
Something I have really learned with dragon books is dragons are not a big part of most dragon books. Unless you're getting that like Dragon Riders of Pern or like Aragon or like of Blood and Fire where it's someone that bonds with a dragon. You're not getting it. Normally dragons are just like part of the world.
Yep.
Like any other creature.
Mm-hmm.
I do need to read the second one of that this month.
I think that most people on these sprints will side with Mel in her vlog, but there is a very select audience that will come for you.
Yep. I'm almost like, should I just ignore the comments for a couple hours?
Yeah, she does. Tomorrow.
Make sure you subscribe.
It's not OnlyFans, y'all. Not today.
It could be.
Or not today.
Honestly, I'm shocked that most of the books, like I thought the books that had dragon POVs would do better than they are in the video, which is great because I didn't really want to read them that badly, but like there was dragon POVs, so I felt like I had to include them.
I feel like Her Majesty's or His Majesty's Dragon doesn't have a dragon POV, but it kind of does. Like he's a very main character.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not from the point of view of, but it's not just a random side character, if that makes sense.
Today I had a dragon book thing come out, and tomorrow Mel has a vlog coming out.
And some people are going to find it controversial. Some people are going to find it funny. Some people are going to find it hopefully agreeable. It's going to be a crapshoot. It's fine.
This is always the thing. I mean, if you watch my videos, it sounds like I would come for you, but I won't.
She's like, well, I will. I just won't let you know I'm doing it. This is a not a safe space if you're going to hate on Malice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was a total joke.
But true. Kind of not really, because I haven't read the rest, so like.
Yeah.
Good night, Pris.
Good night, Pris. But the audiobook returned, and now it's going to take 8,000 years to get it back.
You were on my channel, but let me get you.
You get to use the bot.
I do.
I like the bot.
It's been a while. Everyone just knows you now. Just getting on a plane, coming for you.
Yep.
This is Mel's channel. She has a video coming out tomorrow. Go subscribe. This is Rye's channel. She's currently dealing with her child. Go subscribe.
I don't know if tomorrow is a good video to start with.
I love a vlog.
I wish that the vlog had more books in it, but the first one got me.
Yeah, you suffered. You
I
suffered
did.
for this vlog.
I did,
So
and no one
will
else
watch it.
See the suffer except for you guys, I hope. Like, you can tell that I was suffering, but
Yep.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Honestly, sometimes bad review. makes
Encourage
me
it.
want to read it. Like
Mhm.
more often than not, when someone talks about a book badly, I'm like, should I read it?
Yeah.
Should I do it?
Just because I want to know. I want to know.
Unless it's someone who I know we have very specific taste
Yeah.
together. Or if it's like a reason that I know I won't like a book.
But if it's just one bad review, I'm like,
Mhm.
why?
I mean, even Hyde, technically, like, I'm still thinking about reading it because, like, I just want to know why it's so bad. And I was
Me
like,
too.
it has so much potential. Maybe I'll be the one to like it.
Speaking of, that is Fantastic Land is coming up. It's coming up hot.
Vlogs are great.
Bless you.
Yes. Rant reviews do the best.
Yeah, it's gonna be a time.
Agreed.
I tried to be very objective and not rant because of the context.
This, I do agree with this.
I
Mhm.
want you to read Hyde Cassidy. Like, I really want you to read it.
Honestly, I feel like we often have different taste in horror, so Cassidy might like it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I feel like Cassidy could.
Yeah,
I think you might find it boring.
I don't know. Some of the I think thrillers that we have different taste in. Horror, I usually agree with you, but thrillers we tend to be.
I think you might find it boring. Like my friend, when she DNF'd it at 120 pages, the book is so short. Really, nothing had happened. That's why she DNF'd it. Like, who I was Buddy reading it with, because
dumb.
nothing had happened.
Yeah, I know you said like something about so many characters, and I was like, lots of characters in a horror book. I'm sold.
Yeah, that was like, it was too short for those many characters. Okay, I needed it longer because the characters were
short.
interesting. Like they had lots of different backgrounds and not enough about them. But like I said, I want to see your opinion because I feel like you could be the one that would like it.
Yeah. I definitely feel like I am the most diverse when it comes to thriller and horrors. From your like you two are more like for your thriller horror than I am.
Yeah.
You guys.
Mhm.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
I'm supposed to be whipping hide. I'm supposed to be sleeping.
True.
Okay, we're gonna sprint. I am not gonna read in this first one. So
either.
Can you mute me?
yes, I can do that. See you in 45 minutes.
Oh.
Hello. How you feeling right now?
As I think I put in our group chat, I actually use the nasal spray properly, and I can breathe.
Yay!
It was life-saving.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna wear my the matching hoodie, but it's too hot.
I realized these we didn't plan this well. We could have done it today, but tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little hint for everyone.
I was wearing it, but I've been sweating through my shirt, and I was like,
I'll probably end up taking mine off, but before I got in the bath, I was freezing, and so I was like, I'm gonna slide this on for a few minutes until I warm up.
Mine literally stinks because I've just been living in it while I was sick and everything.
I didn't want
They're
to
so
wear.
soft.
My hood is bigger than yours, Cassidy, because it's like the way it's sitting. Because yours is sitting nice and flat, and mine will not lay down.
It's the Mickey show now.
I just choke myself out until it lays flat. It also could depend on the size, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. There it is.
Also, I heard from a little birdie, somebody bought the first book in the Green Rider series.
Wait, how'd you hear that?
What birdie do you think? Does anyone else know?
Cassidy.
Was it supposed to be a secret?
No.
It's because
No.
Rachel was talking to me about it, and it was like just funny because I was trying to figure out everything. So I'm like, okay, this character equals this, and it would be like fucked up guy. This character equals
That's
not as
hilarious.
fucked up guy.
So I was talking to Cassidy because I knew she didn't care about spoilers, and there was stuff happening, and I was just like,
Fair. Complete fair. No, it's not at all a secret. I was just giving you a hard time. Yes, I bought it yesterday because it was on the 2 for 3 for 2 sale.
did you
And-
buy it? Which one did you have to buy? The mass market?
No, I bought. Ooh, I don't think so. I think I intentionally chose paperback, not mass market paperback. I hate mass market. And then I got Dragonflight, and then I got Finley.
I was.
I got one for everybody.
Mm-hmm. What did you eat, Sydney? I
I'm
also
about to
ate
go
dinner.
look.
That's what I did. I had mushroom pasta, which I
Nice.
don't like mushrooms, but I like.
I got paperback, not mass market.
What's the sizing? Because it could be a lie.
There's 2 options: paperback and mass market. It's 6 by 9.
Everyone else talk for a second.
Hello.
Okay, now talk about. You had an echo.
Hello.
Is it better?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. I didn't do
Sorry.
anything. I was just sitting here.
I was.
minding my business.
Anyways, there's like books like I was giving Cassidy came up with the best like friend who's also a dick.
Yep.
Well, now I have to read it, so I have context.
I mean, we're on book 5. That's what I was saying too. I was like, the thing with the spoilers too is even if I did want to read it, by the time I get to the book, I'll
Forget.
forget everything you just told me.
Yes.
And you weren't even saying them in that much detail.
It was mostly because it's like the romance bit, which is not like the biggest deal,
Yeah.
but it's still like the emotional thing you're invested in. Also, Rye, I think I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Sam asked me a question.
Show us.
Show you what?
I think the book, but she doesn't have it yet. What?
Oh, it's not here.
Horse
it-
Girl.
Green Rider,
By Christian Britain.
but also Horse Girl. That's all I know it
Oh.
as now.
Wait. I looked at those books in the bookstore.
It's, yeah.
Well, at least I looked at the author in the bookstore.
The last one is still in hardback and it's huge.
I bet.
You know what's funny? I think I looked at them and said, wait, I think I've heard these are a little bit more romance. And so I didn't get them. Good thing I didn't get them because they are a little bit more romance.
There is romance. It's just
You like it. There's nothing wrong
I'm
with liking
excited
it.
to try it.
yeah. Like the first book, the main character doesn't really have a lot of agency, but I'm like, I'm still having fun.
I support binging them all. And yes, read Jade City.
Mhm.
I could totally do a books that my friends made me made me pick up vlog because I already own 2 of them.
3 of them. Finley?
Well, Finley, I've already read.
Oh.
That was a buy because I needed it, not buy
I
because
love that book.
yeah, I've already read it. I listened to that on the way home during the absolute miserable drive after we found out about Cooper, the 13 hours home, because I needed a distraction. So it was a very good distraction because it was just so easy to listen to. You didn't really have to think about it a whole lot.
What is Green Rider about?
Rachel, you got this.
The
I saw his
actual,
Horse Girl.
the actual one, or it's Horse Girl Fantasy?
No, like actual
What was
one.
it actually about?
Basically, it follows Carrion Gladian, who is a daughter of a merchant who becomes the unwitting part of the king's messengers because one dies in front of her, and she has to continue on his legacy.
Cool.
And that's basically it's her adventures as a king's messenger and all the dangers because messengers get killed a lot.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Rye, did you read?
I did. Sorry, Nora's like still not sleeping. We're having issues. I did. I showered and then I did get to read after I got my computer going. So I'm almost up 40.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I almost read about 20 pages after taking a shower, so not too bad. I really liked the second point of view in with the necromancy. I really liked that one.
I think yesterday Mel and me said that that's the magic system we both are most interested in.
I am too. I'm intrigued and I'm left like wanting more off that chapter.
Yeah.
And so now I'm reading which world is it?
No,
The House of Mordova.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading that one.
The
Right now.
element.
The
That was
Elementalist. Yes.
the weakest POV for me, but I feel like the POV with the most to gain from my enjoyment.
Mhm.
Okay.
So what's the current consensus since I missed?
We haven't read any more since yesterday, or at least
Oh.
Me and Mel let Rye attempt to catch up to us.
Yeah.
Oh. I think Ash was talking about Green Rider.
Yeah. Ash was talking about Green Rider, and I said no.
Oh, okay.
It's not like smutty romance. It's just
Yeah.
like
There is smut in book 4 and 5, but it's
But
more
not Ash level smut.
no. There is a sexy sword fighting scene.
what did you buy?
Yes. Give us the haul.
I added a shit ton of books to my Amazon wish list today too, and
You need to tell
because now that I'm thinking about putting another bookshelf in my room, I'm like, I have all this room. I can get completed series to sit on my bookshelf.
My wish list is out of control. I use it as this sounds good reminder bucket. And so it is so long.
I have not updated mine. I need to. 'Cause
It is my reminder bucket, not always a wish list.
Agreed. My biggest issue is sometimes having a wish list is when people want to get me things. When I go book shopping, sometimes I'll buy them and I'll have to do the like add to cart to see if someone's bought it for me so I can delete it from the wish list.
Yeah.
And I'm always worried that's gonna go south real bad because I add things. My Goodreads is too out of control. So my
Mhm.
wish list becomes more like
Exactly.
exactly
Mhm.
what I want to read, where my Goodreads is like, oh, this sounds kind of good. I'll just add it to want to read for later.
Yeah. I lose things in the Goodreads want to read. It's just so bogged down.
This is why you don't become famous. And then
I think there should be 2 listings. I found one for paperback and mass market paperback.
there's also a listing for the UK cover of which is regular.
It took me a really long time to realize on Amazon you see like normally the 4 or the 3, but you can click
Mm-hmm.
view other formats and it'll lead you to
Yep.
the actual paperback. Because I had to do that with Anne McCaffrey's because
Uh,
they always showed up as mass market, and I was like, I want the paperbacks.
that's how you can also get the UK paperbacks.
Mm-hmm.
With,
I don't know which ones the UK paperbacks are. I don't think I bought the UK.
the
paperback.
ugly ones that I showed you, like the ones that Cassidy would like.
I think I remember what you're talking about. Go back and look at it though.
Me, Mel, and Rye are all reading City of Dusk, and Rachel is, I think, reading Horse Girl number 5.
I see.
Green
That's
Runner.
expensive.
I'm bad, and no, my library is bad, and
You say it's not your fault.
wouldn't let me have a hold.
Just do it. Why not?
Ooh.
You want this?
Wait,
Going to double check. We don't have it in Canada, but I'm pretty sure we don't.
I don't know. I think I need the last two.
can you send me this link to this deal?
Well, the problem is every time Amazon has one, I have a really hard time finding the deal. I have to just open
Me
all
too,
of the
it's
books
annoying.
and see if they are on there. If that makes sense.
Great. Now I'm buying books. Oh wait, I missed it. Empire
Why
of
is
Gold,
not-
Daughter of the Moon Goddess in the Secret.
Why is so for me, they're not on there. And they're not, the listing is weird. I don't even know if those are the right. There it is. Okay. It was a weird listing. So I think I found it, Rachel. Let me send it to you.
Yeah, if it's like the Manila colors with a horse on it. Oh, never mind. You're right. I was thinking something else. There it is. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Not me looking at what's on the sale for you guys now that you sent that.
They all look really strange though.
Yeah, I just want fantasy. I don't care about Atomic Habits.
The way that listing is pulling up for Wrath and Ruin is really weird. I finally got it, but it took me, I had to go around the world to get it.
It's not even like in an order for me.
Can you send it in the private chat, Mel, and then I'll send it in the
It's
chat?
Oh, that private chat. I was like,
There you go.
oh,
Their 2 for 1 set or 3 for 2 sale is really a pain to navigate. That's
Even
why I
on-
usually just go to my wish list, open up all of the books that I would be considering, and then click and see if it gives you that little green banner that says savings.
It's definitely not user friendly.
Honestly,
all
even our
anything.
Audible sales are like not user friendly half the time.
well, that's because Audible is moving away from using in-app purchases because they don't want Google taking their money. That's why they're taking away all like you can't purchase digital things on your apps anymore.
I've never been able to do that over here.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever really been able to do that.
And they first did it for iPhone, now they're moving to Android and taking that away. Because
Why is the paperweight on sale and staring at me?
The what?
The paperweight.
Oh, paper white. I thought you said paperweight.
I did say weight.
You should get it.
You didn't imagine it. I was just hoping no one would call me out on it.
Sorry. My bad.
ooh, Jade City's on the sale.
The sales, the page is terrible. I don't understand why you can't narrow it to genre.
Okay, but do I need a 32 or an 8 gigabyte?
32.
Oh, that. So I can get Jade City and Jade War, the paperbacks. They're
Oh,
both.
that's a good plan. I'm looking at it now. Like I need more books.
I need one more book though if I'm gonna do this. I don't need to do this, but I want to.
We're all really bad influences on each other.
I'm literally sitting here like, this is $35 off. Should I buy a Kindle?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I love my Kindle.
Me too.
I also love my Kindle. Ooh, person that I do Buddy Reads with, Mel.
What? Yes, maybe.
The Buddy Reads on sale.
It is
Yeah.
the person I do the buddy.
I like that. That's just your name,
Is that
Mel.
what we're up to?
5 Nemesis games.
I said gate. I meant games. Ooh, add to cart.
I wish they had different colors for a Kindle.
Yeah, the colors are bad.
It's
I
just
did.
black here.
You're doing the paperweight, not the Oasis, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really know the difference, but everyone talks about their Paperwhite and like
It's a Paperwhite. There's not. There used to be when I got my Oasis, the Paperwhite didn't have the night like the orangey kind of night glow that eases on your eyes. It didn't have the auto adjust. Its screen was much smaller. And then about 6 months later, they updated the Paperwhites to.
Mhm.
I like that. They updated
love
the
my
Paperwhites to
Paperwhite.
match the Oasis. So I would do
Nick-
Paperwhite.
This is funny, but me and Nick do not get each other gifts. We're like nothing ever. We did gifts the first year I think we dated, and then we were like, we could just buy ourselves the things we want.
I like
is
that
weird.
thinking.
And our birthdays are so close together, so I feel like that really affects it. Like, why would I could just spend $200 on myself instead of on you in the next 10 days?
Yeah,
hmm
that makes sense.
Oh, Mel, they're all on sale except for the last one.
I only got the next one. I probably yeah. I've already bought 6 books off of the sale, so we're just.
It's so annoying to go through them all.
That's why I just opened my wish list and be like,
That's what I do. Yeah, but
Okay,
I did get Nemesis game.
So outdated.
do I need the extended warranty?
no, never
No.
get extended warranty.
Do I need a wireless charging dock? Does it come with a wire?
Yes,
Yes, it doesn't
It
come
was
with. It does, I don't think it comes with the little brick thing.
the USB
Uh-huh.
block, but it's a standard like
like outlet thing.
It's a USB-C, I think.
I
Um,
don't know if they changed it or not.
and I don't want a cover because I probably want a pretty cover.
I
just-
ended up buying the Amazon one just because it's more durable. But honestly, for the Paperwhite, the only reason I got a cover, to be honest with you, is this one is metal. The Paperwhite is plastic, but the Oasis is metal. And so not only when I sat it on my leg was it freezing, but it would slide. So I had to get a case so it would quit sliding. That's the
I
only
just have I have my pop sock on the back of mine, and then I have like a case I carry it in, but not an actual like cover.
reason. Is that your way of yelling at us to shut up?
I had a timer for us to not go over. I love this because this is a mood I always buy.
The
When
Shadow of what was lost is on there too.
But not
no,
the
we
second
bought
one.
this yesterday. Oh, in the sale. Yeah, it is on there.
Not
But
the
not
second one.
Other than a case. Okay.
Right?
I need to double
Maybe.
check that my parents.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think if I should buy it or not.
It's
Do I like it or no?
It would be a hard maybe.
It's better than a Blood and Fire, and she liked
Yes.
a Blood and Fire, and it
I
has
just like a
similar
Blood and
That's
vibes,
what I'm thinking.
but not dragons.
but it has real short chapters sometimes, and it switches point of view real quick.
If you don't mind like
That-
a
see, that I
massive
like.
amount
I
of
like that in
characters
books.
and point of view changes,
I like that.
but you liked the vibe of Blood and Fire, yes, you might like it.
I'm probably gonna buy a Kindle in the sprint, but I need to go check with my parents because I did mention wanting one for my birthday. So I'm
yeah.
just gonna double check that they didn't buy me one. But
I'll probably hop off in the middle of these sprints at some point just because I wanted to be in bed by 10.
go ahead.
And it's
Do it.
almost 10 for me. It was a long
Escape
day.
when you do.
What?
Escape whenever. Just
Yeah, we'll confiscate you in 2 weeks.
Stupid time zones.
Stupid
Well,
word.
Well, at least your work is almost over.
Yeah.
It is. And honestly, like I'm thinking a little bit later now. It's not bad, but like it's so tiring just sitting there doing nothing. Like I'd
Mhm.
rather be up and like doing stuff, but sitting
Yeah.
there is like it's not easy.
Yeah, like lifeguarding, sitting there watching people with the just gonna be like, please somebody start drowning. I'm so bored.
the worst is when you're slow at work.
Rachel, that's so funny.
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry. It's like the psychology of get.
My head processed that way after Mel did.
I
Oh, you did just say that.
You know what? It's on the internet, and I probably shouldn't have said that.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
That was a mood.
We knew
Yeah.
what you meant. You don't actually want anybody to die. You just wanted stuff to do.
It's
Oh,
it's the bane of like security or any like sit and wait jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Is you don't react enough. Like when you're proctoring, do you think you catch everything because you're so bored?
Well, like I'm just like I sit there and I only have one kid in my room at a time because I'm like special. Like I try not to look at the clock. I did do stuff that I wasn't supposed to. I wrote my list for everything I need to pack for vacation. But I'm like, I can't sit here.
I don't see how in the world they can make. I mean, I feel like you're, like Rachel said, you're paying less attention when you're
Like I
that
get it
bored.
when in a group of 50 kids, like yeah, you need to be on top of it, like walking around and stuff. My room's the size of a closet. Like
like-
I'm not exaggerating. Like
I would get maybe trying to like not let you like read a book or something that you can get like immersed into, but doing
Yeah.
just like light tasks or something, you
Mhm.
should be able to do that. Because you
like
can
I was
do
just like
that.
literally making like or doodling. Like I doodled. Like I'm even not supposed to do that, but I was like, I can't not like my brain does not let me not do anything.
I
Right.
would just phase out and then not see a single thing.
Me too.
Well, that's how
Yeah.
brains, because you're not supposed to sit there for hours because your brain is always like inferring things. Like in tumor research, that's why tumors are hard to find in X-rays because it's like searching, you're looking for something. Unless I might be wrong on that.
I mean, it's kind of like kids in any situation. If you'll give them some pipe cleaners to play with their hands, they're paying more attention than if you're just forcing them to sit there.
Absolutely. Like I'm always like an advocate for like kids when they're like listening to let them like doodle on their pages because some like they're half the time they're actually listening better
Mm-hmm.
than not listening. So
Yep.
This is a mood though when you look for a job.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of fun facts. Okay, we're gonna sprint.
Good.
And I'm gonna go buy a Paperwhite. So and
I might just buy 6 books.
buy Rye whenever you leave.
yes, I will be at some point. I'll be gone.
Good night. We will
Good
talk
night.
tomorrow.
Okay, see you in 45.
Yep.
10 minutes of Horse Girl left.
Oh, you're
Oh,
so
almost done. How many are there? 7?
So far, there's 7. I don't know when the next one's coming out.
it's not done yet. It's a long one.
Still going. Jeez.
I don't know. The author's kind of
Just reading.
yeah. The last book is like 800 something pages. It's massive.
Oh my gosh.
But I knew I was kind of basically live tweeting Cassidy things.
Oh, I didn't even look.
Now I want to know. I feel out of the loop.
I didn't want to spoil things.
I know, but I still feel out of the loop.
Like
the one that has the spin-off series, right?
who?
Just the one I'm thinking of. Maybe not.
Oh, yeah, this is a mood.
No, it's not a spin-off, but it's. I keep seeing the Winter Light, and you're right. That thing is like this big.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Winter Light is the one I looked at. That's
Mhm.
where I
It's a
looked at.
monster.
Yeah,
Huge.
that's the last book so far.
Monster.
What is that, Rachel? Sorry.
The last book in the Horse Girl so far.
Is Winter Light?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a door stopper. It's like
Chonky.
I'll say it's an Stormlight size.
it's about 200 pages less than Stormlight, but it's a
Bible pages.
yeah.
Bree, where are you at in the story?
Cassidy, where'd you get to?
I didn't get very far. So I bought a Kindle and then Nick called me and had to talk. I'm only on page 93.
Okay.
Where'd you go?
114.
Sad to say, the more I read, the less I'm liking it.
Something just happened that was interesting.
Are you saying that I'm going to? I have to read it next month, anyways. So
Woohoo! Black Knight, you're bored. Yes, Poppy War. I don't know. Not that I hate it. Like I'm still really liking it, but it's definitely like the dialogue is really bothering me.
The dialogue reads young.
It's so young. It's funny because me and Ashley actually talked about this on Sprints because she just finished it and she doesn't see the YA comparison at all. She said she gave it 4 stars and she's confused how everyone keeps saying it reads really YA.
I still like it, but I do see the dialogue reads young.
I think it was your tone because the way you were saying it, it made it sound like an insult. But I read
Because it is an insult for me. It's not an insult, but it is like it's a negative for me. It's not an insult, but it's a negative.
But it's the tone of your sentence that makes people perceive that it's because it's YA, it's bad. But it's because it's YA, it's bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they mean the same thing to me.
I know, but for like the general population, YA is not like
I
bad
know what you mean.
as a concept.
I don't like.
No, if you like reading YA, then that might be a selling point for you.
Mhm. I mean, we were just talking about it on Sprints, and Rose said that exact thing. She's like, it doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. But
Yeah.
Ashley just said that she doesn't see the YA.
No, I was just trying the way for me as an outsider kind of listening to the conversation, that was what I perceived that conversation as.
I think based off of listening to Cassidy, what you said, and me reading it, I think I'm going to end up liking it about a half star better than you.
I can see that.
You guys can read this, Max.
I actually think it might be very typical. I think that Rye might like it the most.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to sit somewhere in the middle like I always do.
We typically either go like Rye Mel Cass or Cass Mel Rye. You're always in the middle.
I just have a hard time with super strong opinions on stuff, I guess. I don't know.
The thing is, for me, like, I'm still sitting at a 3 or 4. Like, I'm still really liking it. Like,
yeah, me too.
I'm just liking it less than I was.
Agreed. The very, very beginning, I was like, okay, this could be a 5-star read. And the more we read, the more I'm leaning like 3.5, 4-star at the moment.
Agreed.
I will say, if I'm involved, I either like it the most or like it the least. Because the 2 I've been involved in was my favorite, and I hated it.
We're reading City of Dusk.
I'm just here. I'm not reading that.
Yes, agreed. if you go into
Yeah.
a book and it's YA, like you picked it up probably for that reason. I was expecting this to be a little bit more adult in the
Mhm.
sense of like City of Brass, where it reads more
Yeah.
accessible, but I thought it would be more adult. It is. It's not YA. Like I can't tell you that this book is YA or belongs in YA. It reads more YA.
Well, that's like mismarket. It's like expectations. When you go into something with expectations and
Yeah.
it doesn't meet that, like why I'm so disappointed in Priory of the Orange Tree. I had certain expectations in that book, which didn't, which
Mhm.
makes it. Is it fair to the book? Probably not. But did it affect my enjoyment of the book? Yes. So I had to.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of books nowadays are trying to hit that accessible adult fantasy, but also bridge the gap between YA and adult. And so you're having that mismarket, or like you're not marketing it correctly, but at the same time, you're not marketing it correctly. It's just geared to a really weird group.
I think it's because there's something that YA did where like it started and it grew with its audience instead of being YA, it decided to grow with its audience, but it shouldn't. Like because it started out quite younger. Like most YA books read more for like 12-year-olds. Now most YA books read for like
17, 18.
18-year-olds, and it's still attempting to grow. So now that us who were originally reading those books at 13 when it became more of a thing are still reading them. Like it's so like books are doing that, authors are doing that. In my opinion, that's what I see as a trend.
I know what you mean.
But
I mean, to me, there are parts of the Poppy War that kind of lean that more young, accessible, which is one thing that I personally didn't like about it as much.
I 100% agree. I always think the Poppy War is a very accessible. I would classify it as new adult in the end, which is where I would put this too.
That's what I put it in as my in call pile, because I was like, it hits somewhere in the middle, and I can't say that it's high epic adult fantasy, but I'm not also going to class it in the same place as like Shatter Me or something like that.
Yeah. I'm hoping that maybe it's on purpose too, and to see some growth in characters. But I have noticed it a couple times in adult characters talking, and that's where I think it bothers me more if it's an adult character discussing something versus the 21, 22-year-olds, which we now got that Nick is 22.
I thought he was 24.
Let it slide. What?
I thought you said he was 24 earlier.
No, I wanted him to be 24.
Oh.
Stardust Thief is another one I agree with Maria that does this too, where it reads younger but has more high fantasy themes.
So I just had this brainwave that it's probably off of your Cassidy's brainwave or something. I don't know. But adult books have diversity. Like Malta is an insufferable young character, but she has other characters around her that are older and have maturities. While YA characters, they're all flat.
Well, like Nona is extremely young in the Mark Lawrence series, but you have YA about that series.
But you have Kettle, Apple, all these adult characters of different age ranges.
Except for that she's the only POV you get. Like, you literally only get Nona's. So you see...
But it's a tone thing, I think.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, with Rachel saying, like, it's because of the characters around. I don't think that Red Sister fits that. I do think that Ship of Magic fits that. With, like, if you only had Malta's POV, it would be a little bit more YA. But I don't think that...
Well, the way I'm saying it, it's like, even in Six of Crows, they're all the same characters. They're all the same like age.
They are, yeah. I guess I see what you're saying.
It's like all the supporting cast are just
agreed.
16.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're putting down.
Yeah, I follow.
I wasn't following at the beginning. I follow now. I agree.
Yeah, but you see my brainwave now, and then diversity.
I've had this discussion before. I truly think that we need a teen and a new adult, and like that would solve so many of these issues I find I have, because often I just needed to know it was new adult and not expected adult.
Agreed. I'm trying to go ahead and adjust my expectations a little bit with City of Dusk, and that way I can be pleasantly surprised if they grow, but I won't be as disappointed if it leans more new adult. I'm trying to sort of...
I kind of have an issue where I don't ever think it's because of my expectations as much as it's just not what I like.
Yeah.
I
No, I
can't
agree with
I
that.
can't tell you that I'm gonna move my expectations down and I'll like it more because I just don't like that. Like it's
Not move my expectations down, but instead of going into it thinking it was going to be high adult fantasy, readjust that I realize it's not going to be quite as high adult as I thought. But like the Stardust Thief, I'll be honest, I stopped reading it and have zero desire to pick it back up. And a lot of it is because it was reading significantly more YA than I thought it would. It's not a bad book. It's just reading younger than I thought it would.
and I will say with the fact that I think this me saying that it goes YA, it's not necessarily that it's just YA is bad. It's I don't like what it's doing for the YA. Like the YA dialogue is annoying to me. Like
Yeah.
and there's YA books that don't have that annoying dialogue. Like it's
Agreed.
the tropey annoying dialogue.
Agreed.
Emily, the way I was talking about it, it's he's surrounded by different ages of characters, while YA is not.
And Fitz is technically an older character if you actually think about it because he's writing his past story.
Yeah.
True. True.
So that's my point, and not the POV character, but the surrounding cast.
Mhm.
Tends
So
to be
you-
need of
Yeah.
diversified in age.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Agreed.
almost all YA books are
16.
teenagers. Their parents are dead, like everything.
Mhm.
Which I was excited the parents weren't dead in this, but I feel like they're just gonna leave them out of it. So it's gonna be
The parents are annoying as all get out. I'm like, y'all can just go away and stop talking, and I will be perfectly okay with that.
Like
Except for the aunt. The aunt seems like she could be cool.
Jade City, it's talking about you have the different generations in that book, and that's more of an adult book. Poppy War, you can get the more YA because it's mostly Rin and the friends.
yeah, it's mostly younger.
Dad, the evil dude, I forgot his name. And
Don't ask me names. I know it's my favorite book. Don't
you know who I'm talking about. Evil
you do
dude.
get you do get the mentor and then the women leader, but that's about it for like older.
Like even with Malice, Corbin is quite young.
Yeah.
You get so many other points of views that are older and so many surrounding characters that are very diverse and older and complex, that the complexity of all of these characters combined keeps it from, to me, being a YA story.
But not saying that teenagers are not complex, though.
No. I'm just
No.
saying the complex, even of the teenage characters, the complexity of the teenage characters is making it read older to me.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you can definitely have complex teenagers. You can have, I mean, I've read some really complex, like even Nona, that are 9 years old. Fitz is very, very young when he starts, but they have a lot of depth.
I do agree with this too, but I also agree with what Rachel's saying about like not just having teenagers helps with that tone more than anything. I feel like is the
it's a symptom more than the what.
Yeah.
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah.
It's a symptom that it's like I'm not treating a disease, but it's like,
I know what you mean.
presenting of what's happening.
Like a side effect of having all the same age together, talking to each other all the time.
Yeah.
I always struggle with this, and the only person I've ever heard talk about is like Books and Lala. She talks about how people will always tell her that she didn't give a book 5 stars because her expectations were too high, and she's like, that doesn't play a part for me.
No.
And this is how I feel. Even if I have high expectations on a book, if I didn't like a book, I didn't like it. If I liked a book, I liked it. It has
Right.
nothing to do with my prior expectations going into book. For me personally.
I agree.
I
Or
don't
like hype. For me, hype has no bearing on if I enjoy the book or not.
I don't read synopses. I know nothing about books before I enter them, other than like, this book's kind of generally cool. Let me flip through this.
The only book I feel like my expectations did, I guess, affect it were The Overnight Guest, because I read the synopsis and I thought I was reading a whole different book, but I wouldn't have picked up that book
If you had
think.
known.
if I had known. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like the synopsis was misleading, not necessarily my expectations were different. Like,
Yeah, you can anticipate a book is going to be great and start reading it and it not be the book for you and it have absolutely nothing. I mean, to me, it would almost seem like if you expected a book to be 5 stars, then you would end up liking it more than you actually did because you went in expecting to like it, not the other way around.
This is a question, interesting discussion question. I feel like most of the time adult books have more darkness because it's more realistic and less hopeful than YA.
But you
But
can,
not necessarily dark in general, but it tends to be a more like open to the like good and the bad in the world, where YA is just like very black or white.
you can have like, but like Terry Pratchett, I think is more comedic adult. I haven't read them, but that's what.
But at the same time, Terry Pratchett is satire, so he's actually is talking about dark things just in a comedic way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just always think that YA tends to be very black and white, and adult has more of a gray scale, so then you do get that darkness in it. Not
But-
saying that all YA is, but like, and not all adult is either.
Right.
Though I also don't have what is dark anymore. My scale of darkness, I'm just like,
This is the thing, like,
Agreed.
Dead Man Wonderland opens with the slaughter of 12-year-olds, and I'm just like,
Definitions. And I mean, I don't envy publishing houses trying to figure out where to put things and how to market things, because the definition of age groups and even genres nowadays is just so, it's broad, but it's also very niche to the person.
agreed. It's so hard. Like, you say grimdark,
Like grimdark. Yeah.
a million different.
Yeah. To me, Mark Lawrence, Prince of Thorns is grimdark, but Rage of Dragons is not.
I see how Rage of Dragons can border it.
Yes, I agree with that, but not like leaning into it.
well,
Yes.
There's dark fantasy, but there's also grimdark. Grimdark has a specific feeling of hopelessness.
Yes.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think that's
completely
where
agree.
it comes into play. Is most people think grimdark just as dark fantasy, where like,
Mhm.
Because like Ilborn is darker fantasy, well, like Malazan is grimdark.
mhm.
No, we're not going.
This has me interested in reading that.
That's just a traditional.
I'm just gonna sit here quietly.
That's a traditional grimdark example. Okay.
I know. But I will go on a tangent that does not need to be done.
Hopefully, it's in tomorrow's video.
Tomorrow or
Mhm.
okay.
Tomorrow afternoon. I don't know. I'm tempted to just go.
I'll try not to be a week late with this one.
You can be however late you want, Rachel. You're special.
To watching it?
I commented on Cassidy's.
Yeah, it makes you feel
video.
any better. Mel commented on like a 3-week-old video today.
I watched her indie vlog and I was like, I'm late, but I don't care. Here you go.
I had a really good excuse. When you posted your indie vlog, I was stranded in the ocean, okay?
Okay, I haven't watched her indie vlog mainly because I don't watch vlogs that often, and I don't care about lots of books sometimes.
That's fair.
It sounds harsh, but I'm just like,
I mean, I don't watch a lot of videos. Like, I prefer vlogs, but they have to be specific for me. Like, I don't want any vlog. I want like vlogs that I'm gonna like.
Yeah.
And like there's
I only
content
watch
that I
certain
don't
people,
like
though,
watching.
too.
Even though I just did a come book shopping with me video, I hate watching those most of the time. I do not watch them.
If I'm being completely honest, I put in the B-roll because I know people like the B-roll, but then when I watch them, I skip to the very end to see what you bought.
yeah.
And maybe a mini haul and stuff.
I want people talking and having conversations because I want to be like, how has real life been recently?
I am borderline about this because I think that it could go darker than it does. Like, it could be handled a little bit darker in YA than it is. But that's just what I grew up reading, I guess. And there's probably things out there and I might not have been reading the right things.
Well, if you read like pre-2000 YA, pre-2010 maybe. I don't remember when YA.
YA did have a big shift at some point.
I'm still very excited to read Sabriel for that exact reason, is that
Mhm.
it's an older YA.
Like the first screenwriter was 2003 and it's classified as YA, but it's like, nah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be there now.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe because she's like 17 in the first book, but she's like not now in the book 5.
And
I
again, that's that growth thing where we were talking about Bone Season. It starts out pretty YA, and then as you grow with her, the books age up significantly, in my opinion.
I think this becomes an issue with me for YA is YA leans towards the target, like it edits and reads towards the audience it's going to be like the most upset, like it's most fragile, and I'm not that audience, and so I always was hoping for darker themes, hoping for things to be handled in different matters, where adult doesn't always do that. They go to whatever audience they want to go to.
But at the same time, with City of Dusk, I don't feel like it's not going in a dark place. I mean, we've had a lot of different things where I can see that it will lean toward darker tones, yet it still has a slightly YA feel to me.
Yeah, but this is an interesting opinion, like as somebody who's like in the business.
Yeah. I thought it was like a cool take, but I think that's why I always struggled with YA, because I'm not, I don't have triggers. I don't have any of those things. So I always wanted it to be just like a little bit more, even like when I was the target audience.
But I can see why you would have to think about things that way as an editor, for sure.
100%.
Then you have like the Hunger Games, which I read in 2012.
You also then have the issue of, it was a couple of weeks ago, where a guy tried to sue Barnes & Noble for putting ACOTAR in the young adult section because it had so much sex in it. So as an editor, like, how do you combat that? Because parents are...
Because then you have me who's like, it belongs.
Watching True Blood at 14.
I think that books should be more like movies, where they have like an R stamp or like a rated, like, and when you open it, they say like rated 14, or instead of just being a general age, be like the lowest age that should be reading it.
Well, they also, in the US, they have nudity, blah, blah, blah. They explain what they're there.
Yeah.
And then that's mainly for like parents, really. I mean,
that's on the parents, but I can see where if you're trying to market a book, you have to kind of think about that.
To be honest, though, I'm a big supporter of, you're the parent, it's your kid. You can't, you let your kid read it. You should have done your research versus suing Barnes and Noble.
Agreed. Completely.
Well, it's like YouTube. It's like, watch your kid.
Yeah. If there is a 10-year-old watching me talk about sex on the internet, that's the parent's fault.
That's on the parent.
Yep. Like, I don't market myself in that way. It's not my fault that your kid is.
Yep. Not to say that you're gonna know what your kid is doing at all times.
No.
We say as non-parents.
Yeah. I know that what I was reading was not pretty to my parents at 14.
My parents knew what I was reading, but they just didn't.
Mine just didn't ask and didn't care. Like, they didn't have any say so, no strong opinion in what I was reading. They just assumed it would be for the target audience and was like, well, whatever. I think I read Anita Blake at like 15.
My parents just had conversations with me about these things and let me watch them, and we just like, I just grew up and this was like common for me. Like, we would just talk about the things.
To like combo what Sarah and Deb are saying, like standardizing trigger warnings, but like having the author put them there and having the publisher put it out there and market it would be a better solution, because the author knows what's going on in the book versus reviewers and things like that. But the publisher, it's on the publisher to make it publicized versus the author or something like that.
I agree with the fact that they should be in the back, though. I can't why. But like, they should be standard in the back. So then if you want to look for them, you know that they're there. Every book has them. You can look for them. Yeah. But if you don't want to know, they're at the back of the book. You won't actually see them.
Agreed. Yeah, because I don't want to know. A lot of times they're spoilers, and I don't really have a lot of triggers. So
I have 0. Like, I literally have 0. So when someone is like, "Oh, I'll tell you triggers," I'm like, "Please don't." Like, especially for a thriller, I'm like,
ooh, no.
Sometimes I'm just not in a sexual assault mood, so I'm just like, okay.
And that's fair.
Yeah. Everyone has, like, it's not, I have none, and I'm lucky for having none, but like, it's not weird if you have them or anything, right? Like, if you choose not to read something, even if it's not a trigger, you just don't want to read about it. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I just said something really weird. And that could be taken out of context real.
Sometimes I'm just not in the mood for sexual.
And neither one of us picked up on it until you said it. Oblivious.
Jess did.
Just got it, but we completely
Still
missed
taken out of context.
it. Here come the comments. Here come the comments, and we just completely missed it.
One over my head.
Not to.
Please, I don't know. Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's
If
hilarious.
people put trigger warnings, I also don't. I most of the time don't put trigger warnings in my videos because of this. And I feel like if you have trigger warnings, look them up because it is not my fault if I miss one accidentally. Like,
Right.
it happens. It happens because there's also triggers that I've never even thought about being a trigger that are triggers.
Right. And if you don't have that trigger, like Maria said, you wouldn't necessarily think to say it because it's not, you wouldn't know it was a trigger because it's not one for you.
And it's like annoying to like always repeat that, like, I could miss one. Please look it up yourself.
Well,
If
like,
there's a book that I know has some pretty massive stuff in it, like some of the dark romances that we were reading, I'll be like, hey, this is one you definitely need to look up. But as a general rule, I don't even say that.
Most of the time I just say it's dark romance. Look
Yeah.
it up. Like it's dark romance.
with like Illborn, a lot of people don't like heavily like fictional Christianity, so I would say that for that one. But like Prince of Thorns, and I never. What?
So is Empire of the Vampire. It's extremely fictionalized Christianity, almost to the point of not being fictionalized.
Yeah, I know, but I was just like,
I know, I'm agreeing with you. Sorry.
but like Prince of Thorns, I never recommend that. I was like, enter with caution. It's not even that. It's not like even that bad.
I feel like enough people know about that one at this point, though. You can just hopefully assume.
I mean, I guess I did like when I talked about when haunting Andalite, I'll probably mention the triggers because obviously it's a stalker romance, you know that, but there is a very big glorification of sexual assault because he essentially, it's like very on the line of dubious consent. Like it's not, but like it is for the dubious consent.
I can see where that would, just based off of the novella, I can see where she would take stuff like that.
See, this is where fanfiction does better. They have tags.
Well, this is good. I like this. I can there's triggers. They're at the back of the book, at the very start. Proceed with caution now.
It's funny. Same.
My parents didn't do that, but they made the worst. They were not good kids. So I made the better choices.
That's funny. I remember my mom got mad at dad because he took me to see War of the Worlds when I was like 8. And I was like, do you know what I'm reading?
We should probably read again, but I'm also really enjoying this conversation.
It's a good conversation. I'm also probably going to dip when you do your next sprint. So
that means I have to stop reading this book.
No, it doesn't. I'm ahead of you anyway. Not by a ton, but a little.
But Rye's also really behind us.
That's true. We should probably let Rye catch up.
I can still stay. I'm actually really awake because I've been sleeping a lot.
I wish that I was really awake. I wish I didn't have to go to work tomorrow. This week has been one of those weeks where every single day I have woken up to a phone call that said, hey, I know you're supposed to be doing this job today, but I need you to do this job plus this other job today.
Ugh.
And I'm like, it's been every day this week. It's just...
I have to write 2 reports and I keep getting meetings. I'm like, leave me alone. I'm trying to write these things.
I thought you were sick.
I am sick, but I have
you were not at work sick.
No, I only have like a week of sick leave.
Well, that's dumb.
That's annoying.
I told you about my PTO/sick leave.
I know, but I still think it's dumb.
With fanfic tag, I also like you can tell what the pairings are because I'm too lazy to. I'm not there for the character investment. I'm there for the.
Mhm. Mhm.
Fanfic is something I never really got into. I hear about it and I think, I just never really got into it.
Okay, I see this. This is how it's done in Haunting Adeline, but I will say, like, she knows he's raping her. She says it, but
Interesting. I went for a different one for my first bingo board, so I'm hoping I still have time to read that one.
I read it so quickly. I mean, I
You did
skipped
read it
a lot.
fast.
Like, I was just like, this. I don't need to read this.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's
I
like,
realized today as I was listening to Bloody Heart that I was so not in a romance mood because every time a sex scene would come up, I was like, "Ugh, skim."
typically, I feel like I may plot and I skipped the sex scenes. This was the
Mhm.
opposite, where I was like, ooh, I want another sex scene. I was like, that was a good sex scene. I mean, it's very like
Yeah.
dark. There's a
anyway,
gun involved. There's a loaded gun involved at some point, and that was
Oh.
great. It was great.
Okay. Interesting.
I also feel much better than Monday because Monday was bad.
You acted completely fine in text. Cassidy and I were talking about that. We did not realize you were that sick.
Not at all.
I could tell you, but I also don't want to have that recorded. Like,
How sick you were, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No, but both of us just thought you were fine.
Yeah, we thought you just had a sinus infection and felt crummy, and then Tuesday you were like, I died yesterday.
No, the only thing I will say is I had 102 fever.
Oh gosh, Rachel.
So I woke up when the fever broke. I was covered in sweat. And
Ugh, that is miserable.
yeah.
I saw these tweets and this
Is
person
this-
was wrong. Because they talk about it as a sex scene. It is only oral in that position.
It's now I really want to know because I'm the okay. I need to know. I need to know more.
Just about I feel like it's not a spoiler.
It's
If I tell the position.
it's
Like,
romance. Is it a spoiler if it's a romance?
They're like in a Mustang and she's like squeezed in between the Mustang seats and he's in the back. And then
I see.
tied up with the seat belts that she
I
can't
see.
move. So
I
the person
see.
was saying he's like a bigger dude, that they were talking about the physics and how they wouldn't be able to like fuck,
Yeah.
but it's just oral. He just eats her out, which would easily be done.
Yeah.
When they actually have sex, it's a new position. They don't
Yeah.
do doggy in there.
Wait, how is she tied up? 'Cause I thought she was over the what is that? It's not a dash. What's the middle part called?
The middle like console, and then he takes the like seat belts from either side and like brings them around and ties her up.
So she's like
First
first,
out, and then she can't move essentially.
yeah, but she's like head in windshield.
Yeah, I don't think because it's such a small car, you'd be in windshield, but
Yeah, but no, I was just trying to get orientation of where things are.
It's just like,
I think essentially it would be more head in gear stick. 'Cause
Yeah.
they did talk about how your head would be hitting the gear stick, but she's tied up tightly that she doesn't even really move, and it's just oral, so it's not like you're.
yeah.
I thought she was giving oral and he was tied up. That's why I was confused.
Yeah, she drew it out. I saw it, and when I read the book, I was so confused because I was like waiting for the sex to happen, and I was like, oh, it's just oral in here. Like this is totally legitimate.
How did I miss all of this? I don't even remember these tweets.
But I don't think you go on Twitter though.
Me?
I'm gonna see
Yeah.
if I can find them now.
Oh, I don't go on Twitter that often. So
I just don't do a whole lot of like tweeting. I just read and lurk.
I mostly lurk on Instagram because I like the pictures give more.
Instagram's making me mad right now. We can't be friends at the moment.
Yeah, but I see cool fan art on Instagram. I'm like, that's cute.
I use Instagram for the Instagram stories, and the Instagram stories are making me very mad right now.
Jessica, it's Haunting Adeline by what author?
H.D. Carlton, I think.
Mm-hmm. Cassidy, now having read that in the novella, would you recommend the novella or Haunting Adeline first?
I don't know. I felt like reading the novella, I knew too much, but if I didn't read the novella, I didn't know enough. I felt like it almost needed to be like just one giant interlude in the middle of the.
Is this the novella that everyone hated and loved?
Yep,
Yes.
I cannot find these now.
That was the novella that I was like, ugh, I think this is going to be a 2-star. I got about halfway through and was like, Got to the end and was like, and ended up, I think, giving it a 4 after I sat on it.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 too. Why can't I find these? Oh, wait.
I thought that updating the app was what caused the problem.
I'll be like this.
It might be a bug. Like there might be.
Showing this.
That's great. Does that say ow?
Yes, it does.
It also
She says,
I don't know where the gear shift is because I don't know. It's a Mustang, so it could be stick or manual. No, that's the same thing. Stick or automatic.
Do that.
yeah, he eats her out more like this, which I think makes perfect sense.
That does make sense. The fact that
She goes,
uh,
I have questions. He's a bulky hero and sits in the back seat, puts her over the center console face down, and uses seatbelts to tie her down, then lifts her and eats photos. Here, show the diagram. I'm concerned for his knees and ability to do this. Also, how is our heroine not in pain? Like, would she not be having issues smashing her face into the couple? Which she does talk about how she's like, you're just like in pleasure enough though that like the pain is okay, but also they do some fucked up things, so I think she likes pain.
I think the knees is valid though.
yeah,
See,
And-
I'm updating.
and they talk about her being flipped over and fucked, but when I read it, they pull her into the back, so they're no longer fucking there. But maybe I'm wrong. So Mel, when you read it, you now need to like
Okay.
figure out.
Now I'm gonna be like,
Not that it matters. I think it's doable either way.
Look into the sex scene.
Or actually, it's knees and lower back. His lower back because he's like hunched.
Which is like, I mean, let's just say this whole book is very unbelievable, like so unbelievable. He's like our Batman vigilante by day and then stalks and rapes this girl by night. But he's real fit, like really fit. He can
Real
take down
fit.
a whole warehouse of like 100 guys by himself. So like his knees, this was the most believable part.
Even people with good backs would be hunched over.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've gotten
I
some
I
precarious
could buy it in
work.
like maybe a mid-size, but I don't know about a Mustang.
Depends on the Mustang because they do have a 4-door electric Mustang now.
I will
But
let
the
you know
roof is short.
if this works in cars, but I don't have a Mustang.
I almost had a Mustang.
I don't either.
I will keep you all updated because I asked Nick. I did tell him about the scene, and he said, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Sure." He looked at me like I was crazy, and I was like, "Guys, we fucked on I was like, Nick, we fucked on a quad, like a moving quad, in like."
Oh, I thought like a quad, like a college quad.
I did too.
I was like,
Like, what exhibition is there, Cassidy?
I mean, I was like, but you're looking at me like I'm strange for wanting to just do it in a car.
it's something with like it's just oral.
No,
Oh.
No, we're gonna try all out.
we're trying it. I need to know if it works.
Listen about the physics. Yes.
Everyone- This is just a chat.
This is after dark.
What is City of Dusk?
This is why they're not branded as whatever-a-thon.
Hopefully, we're far enough away that the bot will miss this conversation for your monetization.
It's fine. I'll kill it.
I was gonna keep reading, but everyone's leaving me, so I actually think I'm just gonna end it here because
Okay.
I have no other book to read.
Yeah, I can't help you with that part. I think
Yeah.
Rachel was going to stay with you, but I have no
Currently.
help you with the no other book
I
part.
can't help you with City of Dusk. I don't have it.
So, yeah,
We'll leave you with impossible sex scene.
yeah. I'm
The
just gonna
cliffhanger.
tell you that the book deserved probably 1 star, but I gave it 3 stars out of pure enjoyment.
Well,
Cliffhanger.
that's why we need negative stars. The more negative stars it is, it's objectively bad, but good at the same time.
So we got a
Seriously.
negative 3 then.
I had so many plot holes and problems with this book, but yet I was sitting here like, next page,
What's gonna happen?
next page. So yeah,
It's hilarious.
You should read it. And also tell me how you think about the gun scene, because I really enjoyed the gun scene.
I planned to read it. It was on my TBR, and it was long, and I needed an audiobook. So I'm thinking next bingo board.
Is it similar gun scene to Den of Vipers or different gun scene?
There's only so many ways you can do a gun scene.
I mean, it's pretty much typical what you would think about a gun scene.
Okay.
But it's done much more,
Not crazy.
I want to say romantically, but it's literally like the first scene of them banging, so I should call it romantic, but
I like it that you sort of hesitated on the word banging there. Not that you didn't say fucking earlier.
I feel like when I'm in terms of it sometimes just makes sense, you know?
It's fine.
Love it. Okay. Anyways, we're ending this. So thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful night and keep thinking about the Mustang.
Gun scenes.